Assalamualaikum and a very good evening to Sir Zaha. My name is Muhammad Amrazin bin Rashid from SIG BAVM. So now I will present to you about my integrated project slide. So we'll move to my research title. So my research title entitled as Analysis on the Commercial Aircraft Noise Disturbance Among Local Community Residents. So this is my title. Then a table of contents. We'll talk about firstly research background. Then we'll talk about problem statement, research objectives, research questions, data collection, data analysis findings, future works, and also conclusions. So for research background, so when more commercial aircraft are being used to transport people and also products, the airspace network has getting more crowded. This vast majority of congestion is essential factor in airport transportation congestion. Commercial aircraft have an effects upon the surroundings and indeed the communities who live close around airports as a results of such growth. As Lambert J. Concludes, the major environment issues within contemporary urban centers' local communities are commercial aircraft noise, which has tremendous impact for those who live close to the airports. And the association between proximity to commercial aircraft noise as well as decreased well-being, a poorer self-reported life satisfaction, and increased rates of stress, nervousness, anxiety, and psychological illness is verified by the available information. There has quite an extensive research performed upon this impact of noise on communities' well-being and irritation from various perspectives. The viability of commercial airliners is impacted by this crucial problem. Airport commercial aircraft noise has previously claimed to be controlled in a variety of ways. So for the problem statement, since commercial aircraft are predicted to fly in higher numbers than helicopters, there is a probability that new population may frequently be exposed to aircraft noise. Furthermore, a crowded region has historically resisted improvements in noise level. Additionally, this opposition may take the form of noise complaints, which might lead to the need for stricter municipal noise regulations. Community sensitivity for noise might vary. The community's noise tolerance level CTL, which itself is as the noise level at which half of the population reports feeling very irritated. Noise produced by airplanes or commercial aircraft is the most inconvenient of all ambient noise sources. The level of discomfort is likely to be defined by commercial aircraft noise when diverse means of mobility are evaluated together. So here are my research objectives and research question, which consists of two element, which is one to explore the methods used by commercial aircraft to reduce noise. Then the second research objectives would be to examine the local communities acceptance levels of noise generated by commercial aircraft. Then for the research questions, the first research question would be what are the methods used by commercial aircraft to reduce noise at local airport? Then the second RQ would be what are the local communities' acceptance level of noise generated by commercial aircraft? Then for the data collection, this research used both the qualitative and quantitative method in order to collect data. The online survey was constructed using Google Forms, and the link to the questionnaire was distributed or given to a few groups on the WhatsApp, Instagram, and Twitter media platform. The survey uses a non-probability sampling approach, and there are a total of 16 questions spread throughout four sections of the survey. The collected information was entered into Microsoft Excel on the computer. A chart and graph depicting the responses to the questionnaire were provided. And lastly, as I did the survey questionnaire, the data shows that only 60 respondents participated in the poll. So this is the methods used by commercial aircraft to reduce noise, which will answer the first research objective. For operation restrictions, several governments are considering outlawing the use of particular noisy aircraft in airports that are hypersensitive towards noise because of noise pollution issues. The airlines involved both those headquartered in the states actively working and those based in other states that travel from and to the impacted airports may experience considerable economic consequences as a result of operating limitation of this nature. Each time, the ICAO conference was able to come to a decision which carefully struck a balance among the needs of emerging as well as wealthy countries while also taking the airline business, airports, and natural issues under considerations. Then for second method, which is decrement of noise at source, the mitigation of noise at source is a crucial component of the balanced approach to aircraft noise abatement. Since 1970s, commercial aircraft noise, often referred to as noise at source, was already managed by the establishment of noise limitation throughout the text of standards and recommended practices SARPs. As mentioned in the ICAO report, Annex 16 2019, noise license main goal is to make sure that the newest noise reducing technologies is integrated within aircraft design and that this has been shown by practices which applicable to regular operatives. Then for the third methods, which is noise abatement or operational procedures, the noise which hits environmental land might well be impacted by how aircraft were flown in routine flights. The International Civil Aviation Organization (ICAO) supports the creation and standardization of secure as well as cost-effective low noise operational techniques. There are other options such as using quieter takeoff and landing techniques and runways and routes. More recently, the layout design of the airport and its environments will determine which of these solutions is most suitable. However, safe operation concerns should always come first under every situations. Then for the last method used by commercial aircraft to reduce noise is ICAO noise certification policy for aircraft. Standard and recommended practices address ICAO noise regulation in ICAO Annex 16 to enable commercial aircraft to fly in a way that is acceptable to the general public and surroundings. The Convention on International Civil Aviation Annex 16 has upon this. To conclude the noise certification, Michael P. stated that the whole noise generated by such aircraft activity, including the engine airframe, is taken into account by Annex 16 noise approval method. Following thereafter, these subs were being upgraded via further section of Annex 16 and has become tighter in order to recognize as well as spur advancements in aircraft and engine development. So we will move to data analysis. So here are the respondents' demographic. The respondents were asked regarding their gender and their responses. This table showed that 26, which is 43% of the respondents are male, and 34 out of 60 respondents, which is 57% of respondents are female. Then the respondent were also asked regarding their age, and the responses showed that 33, which is 55% of the respondents, are aged 20 to 30 years old. 9, which is 15%, aged 31 to till 40 years old. And 5, which is 8%, aged 41 till 50% years old. And 7, which is 12%, aged 51 till 60 years old. And 6, 10% of the respondents are aged 61 till 70 years old. So this is the question we provide in the Google form questionnaire, and the respondent were asked to rate their level of annoyance from 1 strongly annoyed to 5 not annoyed at all. The responses shows that 41, which is 68% of the respondents, were strongly annoyed with commercial aircraft noise. Then 15 of the respondents were moderately annoyed. One of the respondents was slightly annoyed. Apart from that, two of the respondent was feeling neutral with the commercial aircraft noise. Lastly, one of the respondents were not annoyed with the commercial aircraft noise. So it can be concluded that based on the percentage of the strongly annoyed, it can be concluded that the commercial aircraft noise produced significant annoyance towards the community that being exposed to the commercial aircraft noise. Communities may react differently to commercial aircraft noise. So this is the next question in the Google Form survey. The responses shows that 20 of the respondent was sometimes experiencing sleeping disturbance due to commercial aircraft noise. Then 17 of the respondents mentioned that they are experiencing sleeping disturbances thoroughly with the commercial aircraft noise disturbance. Then 10 of the respondents classified that they are experiencing sleeping disturbances as excruciating with the commercial aircraft noise disturbance. Lastly, 13 of the respondents mentioned that they are always experiencing sleeping disturbances due to the commercial aircraft noise because their residencies were accessible to the airport, which means their residencies are nearby to the airport. So it can be concluded that since commercial aircraft are predicted to fly in higher numbers than helicopters, there is a probability that new population may frequently be exposed to commercial aircraft noise. Most of the respondents live in Kampung Melayu Subang, which are nearby to the Sultan Abdul Aziz Shah Airport, Subang, resulting in commercial aircraft noise exposure. So this is the next question in the Google form. Impact of aircraft noise on irregular activities. The responses shows that 11 of the respondents were having problem with online classes. Then 12 of them 12 of the respondents were facing problem with online meetings. 21 of the respondents were facing problem with leisure. Lastly, 16 of the respondents were facing other problems due to commercial aircraft noise exposure. So commercial aircraft noise has affected the communities with several activities, where 60 of the respondents mentioned that the aircraft noise has disrupted their regular activities. Plus, it is also has found that the effects of noise exposure, which is commercial aircraft noise, may be reflective of noise intensity and serve as a broad measure of ambient responsiveness. So this is the next question in the Google form survey, Google survey form. So commercial aircraft noise impacts on health. The responses shows that 13 of the respondents were experiencing hearing impairment. Then 15 of the respondents were experiencing high blood pressure. Then 20 of the respondents were experiencing depression. Lastly, 12 of the respondents were experiencing with other health problem due to the exposure towards commercial aircraft noise. So majority of the respondents was having depression, where 20 of them mentioned that depression is the health problem caused by commercial aircraft noise. Over the years, numerous research studies have focused on how exposure to aircraft noise affect the health of those who live close to the airports. Most cases of this health issue with depression involve negative outcomes. So as we can see from here, many majority of the respondents said that they are residing near to the Subang Airport, which they live in Kampung Melayu Subang. So it can be seen that commercial aircraft noise exposure will bring them so many consequences, which leads to lower acceptance level. So for the findings, it can be concluded that the community's acceptance level towards commercial aircraft noise are very poor. Most of the communities are badly affected with the noise, which is commercial aircraft noise. Noise from the commercial aircraft noise results in numerous effects that may harm the communities. Noise produced by commercial aircraft is a threatened noise towards communities. This scenario is most likely happen to the communities that live nearby to the airport. All right. For the future work, possible form of implementation of the recommended method and approaches of the aviation industry for commercial aircraft noise. Then, general aviation ability to classify into certain noise policy strategy clusters. Also, community concerns about the commercial aircraft noise pollution and what approaches have federal agencies engaged with to set federal noise mitigation policies. Lastly, for the future work, study of different opinions from the aviation industry and community citizens regarding noise concerns. As for the conclusion, the researcher expects that the findings of this inquiry would be helpful to aviation industry in terms of the method used to reduce commercial aircraft noise, particularly in Malaysia, in order to fulfill the local community requirement regarding a commercial aircraft noise. Then, in addition, the researchers anticipate that the aviation industry will take into consideration the recommendations and method in order to reduce commercial aircraft noise that leads to high community acceptance levels towards commercial aircraft noise that will automatically preserve the good name of aviation industry. That's all from me, sir. Thank you very much for your time. Have a good day. Assalamualaikum.